Hello, TMT peers. Happy Tuesday, March 24th. I hope you guys are having a pretty good day, staying positive. We are here, of course, for your weekly feedback call. And just wanted to remind you guys that this Thursday, we actually don't have a live training. This will be a catch-up week in case, usually in this class, and I've heard from a good amount of you guys in this cohort so far that I know this is a lot and it's easy to get behind or just need time to work on this stuff. So we like to add this catch-up week where you, of course, still have access to us. We're here right now, but where we don't put out any further content. So that is where we are right now, really in a sort of transition period in this mentorship, and really have set the fundamentals so far. And you guys now have the deepest insight of any people out there into my campaign building process, our campaign building process. And next week and moving forward, we're going to get a bit more tactical into, okay, so what does life look like after you launch a campaign? And what does optimization and troubleshooting and scaling and retargeting and dynamic product ads and all of that, like how does the other pieces to this puzzle fit together? So just wanted to say thank you guys again for being here. Really excited to dive into the questions today. Joe was awesome and made me a list in Slack, which always makes it easier. And yeah, John is also here with me. How you doing, John?
I am great. I just had a call with Molly and Ezra that was very fun and interesting, and so I am like so hyper right now. So I'm glad I don't have to be doing the talking because I know I just get into
Yeah.
that. Da, 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 da.
Totally. Absolutely. This is like my 10th hour in a row being on a call. I feel like very inspired though, and like things are really developing and lots to update you guys on soon. But one of them, I want to give you a link to this. This is a really interesting resource for anyone interested in how COVID is affecting the online world. This agency is aggregated, I think it's had like $500 million in spend. This is a pretty huge agency, and broken it into a few different sort of verticals or types of business here, and you're able to see how differently this whole deal is affecting these different industries. And I just think this is interesting to keep an eye on and monitor. I'm going to pop into the questions box here.
I
John,
just
it's
dropped it in the
actually,
chat, Molly.
yeah, okay, cool. It's not letting me do it, so thank you for that. But as always, let us know if you have any questions in the comments box. We are going to dive into any unanswered stuff we have here. And yeah, just thanks again for being here. Let us know how we can serve you. We know that, right now is, definitely not normal. So anything we can do to help, we are here. And yeah, let's dive in. So alrighty, it looks like, I hope you're safe and sound, you too. After watching Module 5, I created ad copy for my first campaign for Cranberry for Dogs. Awesome. I will be grateful for your feedback. I created a bit more so that I can more easily understand which direction is best. Cool, love it. Okay, so the first is feel. Are you feeling heartbroken because of constant UTIs in your pup? You've already spent hundreds on vet bills. John, it's interesting. You
Yeah,
just told
this
me your
was
dog had a
years worth. Yep.
UTI. So, hey, by the way, my dad's in the group now. Remember when we added him last week?
Yep.
This is funny. He's here. So shout out to Jeff Pippin. That's hilarious. Um, okay, I think that because you're talking about animals here, this won't be an issue in terms of like health, in terms of services. So I like that you're opening up and speaking directly to the issue. You've already spent hundreds on vet bills, you've tried different treatments, but UTIs seem to come back again and again, and you're tired of seeing your furry friend suffer. Do not let your dog develop antibiotic resistance. Support your dog's bladder and kidney with the powerful cranberry extract. So I like this, and you definitely followed the copy chunks. I think this is a good start. I will be interested to see how Facebook treats this from a policy standpoint, because there are words in here like bladder or kidney possibly that might trigger Facebook terms of service, but when they see that it's in regards to animals, they might feel differently. So anyways, just something to think about, but I like this. I don't know if every person, like I'm thinking about Larry, my dog, and he has had a few UTIs in the past. So if I read this, like I might be interested in buying your product just to have on hand in case he has it. And you might cover this in another hook, but I wouldn't resonate with this because this feels like really catered towards the person who's like in, like this is an ongoing, very sort of serious problem. But let's keep going. Charlie suffers from UTIs, which have led to many trips to the vet. It was hard just financially and also emotionally. So same here, like I might be interested, but I wouldn't resonate with this because it didn't go this far for me. Um, but I do like that you're telling a story. So this is a good copy chunk for you to use. And this is good ad copy. You're doing a good job. I'm just giving you some feedback in terms of who you are catering this to. I think it might be fine to cater a few of these folks to someone who's like in a deep, dire situation, but I would loosen some of them up too. Um, Comparison, Max Cranberry Chews for dogs is unlike any other cranberry supplement on the market. It has at least double the amount of key. So I would say this is your weakest one so far, just because we're coming out immediately with a product name, which very much feels like an ad. And most people, like I'm pretty deep into the dog market. I really love dogs and being a dog owner. And I've never heard about Cranberry Chews. So I don't know if I would use this one. You could compare using your option to normal UTI treatments, right? That would be a good comparison, but I think right here it's a little too, I'm not sure this would land. Logic, did you know that your dog can develop antibiotic resistance if you treat their UTIs too often? I like this hook. I think you could also just speak maybe to any negative side effects of antibiotics in general, if that's a stance you want to take, because that is the direction I've gone when Larry's had them in the past. But if you showed up in my newsfeed and just created awareness that there might be a more natural or safer option, I would definitely go for it. But I think you just need to loosen up the seriousness of this a little bit, if that makes sense. But I think this is a really good hook and sort of your logic education. Constant leaking issues of your furry friend. I don't think that Facebook would approve that. My dog follows my every step, even to the toilet. That can be funny, but it's definitely not funny if I have to follow my pooch because of UTIs. Uh, Okay, for the kidneys, normally dog's natural immune system works to prevent it. However, sometimes it's overpowered, how to prevent it. So I like that you're giving education here. I could see even a video ad where you're flipping through these different tips on how to prevent it. I think you need to split up this paragraph a little bit from a visual perspective. It's really hard to digest. But I like where you're going here. So I think these are good starting points. Hopefully my feedback is helpful, and I think even just general education around this is really important because most people probably don't know that there's an alternative. John, do you have any feedback since you are this avatar?
I definitely like the first one the best myself,
Yeah,
the feeling one, because it's such it's an emotional relationship, even for robots like me. But I do really
totally.
like the open. So if you think
Yeah,
Facebook's going to accept that, I'm all about it because it's
yeah.
really stressful.
Cool. Well, good job. Keep us posted on that. Thank you so much for posting it. Next up is Teresa. Hi, dear. She said, hi, everyone. I started a new blog post this morning. I usually write one or two a month, but I'm not feeling well right now. Hopefully in a day or two I can finish, but I was thinking that when done, I could share with everyone. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. If you have tips for indoor things to do, please share. This is what I have so far. Name of article, most likely 100 plus things to do while social distancing. So way to enter the conversation. Teresa, last month I did a blog post about five easy ways to meet people and do something interesting. This article is about getting out of the house and trying new things. But now we are in a circumstance of social distancing and self-isolation. Our primary concern is that we all come out of COVID unscathed. Being at home for a long period of time can become monotonous and tedious unless if we are proactive in finding worthwhile things to occupy our time. Totally get what you're saying here. And then it looks like you're starting a list. So I really like this, Teresa. Keep going. And some of this could even be good ad copy if you were in some way able to, position this and sort of in that relevance. So I think that you're definitely entering the conversation that's going on in most of humanity's mind right now. And yeah, I like that you're doing this. I would say keep going. You said you finally finished it. It is long but packed with tips. Feel free to use it for yourselves and make any edits. So thank you so much for sharing this, Teresa. And everybody, definitely check this out because she has over 100 things. So I'm sure there are tips in there that you haven't thought of yet that will make your life better and your business better and working better. So thank you, Teresa, for giving and sharing that information. And I think that's something you could definitely run traffic to, of course, also.
Hey, Molly, while you're on that, Teresa is here and she was just wondering if she is going to run traffic to it, do you think the reach objective or the traffic objective would be better?
I would start with traffic and landing page views. So choose
Nice.
traffic at the objective level and then the optimization level at the ad set level. Just check landing page views.
Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome. She said, I just put the following on my site so that customers don't feel like I'm clueless of what is happening. Definitely. And you guys go to Digital Marketers Facebook page and check out the Facebook Lives that Ezra and I did today if you want to go deeper on the COVID stuff. We also have a free 90-minute webinar that John, Ezra, and I are going to do next week where we will go deeper into this topic for you guys. Like we know that you have questions around this and we want to serve you. So, I think addressing it, if you feel that is what you need to do for your brand, that is, I totally understand that. And for our thoughts around that, not to go too deep on that again, definitely watch those 2 Facebook Lives, and there are some other great ones on the page too. They're only about 30 minutes apiece. But she says, since we are only online business, our site and social media will remain active. Click here for information. When they click, there's an update. Cool. Yeah, fulfillment center is open. So yeah, good to, good to address it. Definitely go, just for sake of time here, Teresa, if you want to figure out what other things you can say or what other actions you can take in your business right now that maybe aren't even specific to paid advertising, things like the About Us page, Ezra talks about that a little bit in the Facebook Live, definitely go watch those. I think there's some good guidance there. And then this one, it looks like this was a video, so I'll put this on my overflow list to get to in the next day or so. So Amy, I just want you to know I see you, and I will answer that as soon as I have time to consume that video. And then let's see what is next here. Okay, can one company have 2 business manager accounts? So, one person can be added. It looks like you got some good answers here. Like you can be a part of multiple business accounts. It might be against terms of service to have more than one, but I don't really see why. So in some situations, I have had to, like, there's some clients that for different reasons maybe have 2 different business managers for countries because they're selling in different currencies. I've had to do it for some policy reasons, but looks like you got some good answers to this too there. So thank you for asking. And then, okay, Charlotte, hi dear. She says, will you please comment on my 2 avatars? Sure thing, for my makeup brands. I've done a doc for each avatar. One is women, single, sensitive, acne prone. The second is mom with a teenage daughter with sensitive acne prone. Okay. It looks like I'm having trouble with Microsoft Word again. Hey, John, if you have a second, would you be able to convert this to a PDF and
Yep.
maybe pop it in this same room that I'm in right here, and I'll get to it. It looks
Sure
like she
thing.
has 2 posts right under one another here in Slack.
Yep.
It says feedback on Avatar, so thank you.
All right. No problem.
Let's answer a question while you do that. All right, Joshua. Hey, traffic people. What's up, Joshua? I'm putting together a webinar for this Sunday. Exciting. So this won't be applicable by the Q&A, but I'm hoping to get whatever feedback I can before putting this campaign live. We're running ads to a webinar sign up where we'll be selling a live dog training course. Awesome. Here's current ad copy. Hey, Bay Area dog owners, are you stuck at home with your dog a little more than you'd like lately? We're making the best out of this situation, and we're hosting a free online presentation all about keeping your dog busy and improving behavior while you're stuck at home. We'll talk about the importance of keeping your dog's mind and body active, brain games, training games. Yeah, this is freaking awesome, Josh. Like, you're entering the conversation that people are having. They're stuck at home. This is something that I've actually had a conversation. I was talking to someone earlier today, and I said I should use some of this time that I have to do more dog training for Larry. So like, you're hitting the nail on the head. And I wonder, like, can you target more like the entire US or even multiple countries? Like, having this call out is nice to know exactly who you're talking to, but I mean, geez, this is applicable to such a broad audience. And even if this webinar has already occurred, you could easily just turn this into a little bit more of an evergreen offer where you're still using this same hook, but they're just going to a page, opting in and getting a replay of the training that you did. And it's just an evergreen funnel that you're using to sell whatever you're selling on the back of the webinar. So I think this is fantastic. And I would, if you're going to do that and scale it further out of this local area and evergreen it, just think about 3 or 4 more hooks, you know, that you can use to really get people interested in this. And they can be around the virus because that is relevance, but I would try to add some other stuff in there to catch people that, you know, might not want to spend, or maybe just would be hooked in for another reason, like more around, go check out the dogtrainingsecrets.com on Facebook ad library. I actually screenshotted a bunch, let me find them, of really good ads. And we're making this swipe file this week of just like a ton of good ads right now that I'll send to you guys. But these are some good examples of even more evergreen ads that you could use, like telling a story here about a dog being really hyper. I lost it. This one, you guys can't see it, but I'm going to read it to you and we'll give these to you. You know, the top 5 most common dog training mistakes. It is true, your dog can make mistakes while you can make mistakes while training and raising your dog. The mistakes will make the training process longer and more tedious. This other one is, does your dog completely ignore you? Are you sick of trying to bribe him with treats? Does it seem like he runs your house and you just live in it? And there's more to that. And then it's like, owning a dog should be joyful, not a constant source of worry and frustration, so a bit more emotional. Unfortunately, if your dog isn't well trained, enjoying the simple pleasure like taking your dog for a walk in the park isn't necessarily, et cetera, et cetera. Got a dog that just seems to do what they want? Watch this video for a quick exercise you can learn today. This one is your dog obsessed with food to the point that it's a problem? So was Josh, until her owner learned some service dog industry secrets, et cetera, et cetera. Very creative, very native creative there. And this is, do you have a dog that constantly barks at everything he sees and hears? So anyways, there are just lots of different hooks here. And I think this is a good time to be doing this. And I would encourage you to dive deeper into those hooks and to scale this as much as possible and take advantage of this opportunity you have in the coming amount of unforeseen time that people do have more free time for this type of stuff. So great work, and keep me updated.
On that, Molly, Josh was wondering, so his business name is City Pups SF. Do you think that's too area specific, or do you think with what's going on, people will just kind of
No, it's
know
fine.
that it's still relevant to them?
If I saw an ad from you, I would just know you were based in San Francisco. It wouldn't stop me in any way from buying your product or service. So I say definitely broaden out if you can.
Perfect.
Cool, keep me updated. All right, up next is Suzanne. Hi dear, she says, first, thank you so much for this course. I'm learning like crazy. Thank you, we appreciate the gratitude, that feels good. And I'm so excited to put it all together. Here's my question. I have so many avatar possibilities because I sell so many products. How do I know where to start? I'm thinking of looking at my most popular products and figure out the avatar for that product and creating a campaign for the avatar in that product. Does that make sense? Yep, Suzanne, I think that's exactly what you should do. Go for one of your best sellers, the product that is the most novel, very similar to what Ezra's done with promoting his Trio, his 3 sticks. That's the main front end product that we promote in the pre-sale article that we use for acquisition. And that's exactly what you should do too. So, yep, you hit the nail on the head, and keep us updated on that one. All right, up next are questions about CBO. So, hey buddy, how are you doing? I hope everything's working out with the visa stuff. He said, a quick question. Excuse me, how do you change from ABO testing phase to CBO? Should I do it or not since I still have ABO? So I'll talk more about this in the scaling module, but if you have an ABO campaign, a test campaign that's working, you want to scale that because anytime you have something that's working with Facebook ads, you want to keep doing it as long as possible. So, you still, if you have a test campaign that is successful, you can scale it with still budgets at the ad set level and start to possibly add new CBO campaigns also. So, it's kind of both. It's about increasing the budget on the ad sets that, are meeting the success metric that you're looking for to make your decisions. And then it's about creating new CBO campaigns if you're still running that test campaign that have similar audiences, probably mostly interests, to the ones that are working in your test campaign, and just moving over either all of the ads because possibly all of them are working, or the ones that are working and not including the ones that aren't working, right? And utilizing those existing post IDs. And if you want, maybe possibly introducing some new copy and creative and hooks just to freshen things up in the new campaign. So there are lots of scenarios to play out in this situation. Like, there are different routes to go that I'm going to explain in the optimization and troubleshooting and then scaling modules depending on what happens. So it's hard to give you like just a broad answer because it very much depends on the situation. But if you give me a specific campaign, I'll tell you exactly how to move forward. And I think those modules are going to lay out this process for you. You said, should I do it or not since I still have ABO? So yeah, I just wouldn't use a lot of the same targeting options that you are still using if that ABO campaign is still currently active. Use the CBO campaign to still use the post IDs of at least the ads that are working in that ABO campaign, but go back to your interest list. That's why it's important for us to have a reserve of a ton of different audiences and start to scale out in that way. You said, I said that it's good about having ABO is that you can still have the ability to set the budget per ad set. When you change to CBO, how is that budget calculated? Thank you so much. So I pretty much still think about budget in the same way. It's just a lump sum instead of spread out between each ad set. So for example, I used to set a $100 budget per ad set when starting to test new ads for any upcoming webinar or lead magnet that we have. That's just sort of our threshold for where we are at Smart Marketer. And now when I launch CBO campaigns, I just started about $500. Again, you definitely don't have to start that high. Go back to module 3 if you want me to hear more about, how I think about budget. But yeah, I don't think about it any more differently than just, just adding all of the budgets that I would have set at the ad set level together and setting that at CBO. So you are so welcome. Thank you for asking, and thanks for being awesome. Good questions, and we'll dive more into this for sure. All right, we're rocking and rolling, John. Okay, next up is Casey. I have a butter chicken ad set that is doing really well. I like everything about all you just said. Thus, I duplicated it to my Dipsy Doodle campaign to test over there, but that campaign has already been live and optimized, so is now running via CBO instead of ad set level. Should I change back to campaign? Hold on, should I change back the campaign? Sorry, should I change back the campaign back to ad set level until Facebook learns about this new ad set, or will Facebook be able to understand the adjustment? Okay, so let me make sure that I'm understanding this correctly. So, okay, you got a butter chicken ad set that's doing really well. You duplicated it to your Dipsy Doodle to test over there, but that campaign has already been live and optimized, so it's now running via CBO instead of at the ad set level. Should I change back the campaign back to the ad set level until Facebook learns? Or will, so then you said you all rock. Can you answer this on the Q&A? I have a second question. Okay, so first off, Casey, I think what I'm trying to, John, are you understanding this exactly?
So she had an ad set that was doing well in butter
I think
chicken
it's a
campaign.
he.
Oh, sorry. And Casey's actually here in the question, so he can help out.
What's up,
So
Casey?
he had an ad set that worked well, moved it to another campaign. Yep, got that. So the question is, Casey, for you, will you go back to the other one so I can read the post, Molly? So the question for you, Casey, is should I change back the campaign back? So I'm thinking, Molly, you can't change a campaign from CBO to ABO when it's already
No.
running, right?
No, and if it's working, definitely don't change it. So, I mean, that's always my rule, guys. Like, this stuff can be finicky, and it's a huge success when we start to get something working. And anytime something's working, you want to make as little amount of adjustments as possible. So, if what you just did is working, I would keep doing it if I'm understanding what you're saying correctly. You said Facebook is showing more purchase results than my Shopify. Is there a way to reset it or correct it? I'm trying to avoid doing extra metrics. John, do you want to speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, let me read this here. And just on the last one, I wanted to confirm this because I can't keep this straight sometimes. It's okay to add new ad sets to a CBO campaign, or is that not a good idea?
What'd you say?
Is it okay to add new ad sets to a running CBO campaign, or is that a bad idea?
I usually don't recommend it. There are some scenarios where I see it work just fine, but I usually don't recommend it. If you want to add new audiences in with CBO, you would do that in a new CBO campaign. Because the optimization's happening at that level, throwing in a new ad set really throws everything off. So, but I have seen it work very few times at extreme scale. I
Okay,
usually just like to put them in their own campaigns to keep everything separate and nice.
perfect. Okay, well, that makes sense. And that answers the first question for Casey, I think. So, second
Awesome.
question, seeing purchase results that are higher on the Shopify store than what your Pixel says, and that is tricky.
And normal.
Shopify, yeah, it is normal, yes. So Shopify is really nice in a lot of ways because you don't have to muck around and do a lot of the back end setup to track purchases and stuff, which I honestly do really love. However, I always say this, and we haven't gotten to the analytics training yet, but Facebook loves to highlight that any sale they've touched probably came from them. And that's not always the case, especially if you have an email list or you're running ads on other platforms. So my advice to you, if you're feeling like the numbers that you're seeing in Facebook are a little bit too high, is to go over and instead look at your Google Analytics data, because that integration between those two things is really pretty reliable between Shopify and Google Analytics. And so you can go in and say, hey, out of all the traffic that came from Facebook ads, I drove this many sales. And you can go in and see that granularly and get a precise number. And that estimate can sometimes be a little bit conservative, honestly, because, well, there's a lot of reasons it's not that interesting. But you know, sometimes that'll be even a little bit lower than Facebook, but it'll help you kind of set a floor for like what performance looks like. So if you're feeling like what you're seeing in Facebook seems too high to be realistic, the best strategy is just go check in Google Analytics and see what the numbers say there.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool, Casey. Let us know if there's anything else. And sorry, I didn't understand your question at first, but that makes perfect sense now. And yay for having more stuff working. Congratulations. That's awesome. Okay. To the next question, we have Carl. Hey, buddy, he said for the Q&A, or maybe after if it's too meaty, It looks like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna save this one for the overflow, John, since there's a lot to consume here. I'll just
Cool.
shoot you a video, Carl, and we'll figure out next steps. Okay, okay. Um, it looks like he specifically called out Ez on this one, John. So if you don't mind to just add that to Ezra's list.
Sure, that's no problem. And I just wanted to say this because I think it's so clever. Teresa was just saying that this is how she remembers which campaigns do what. So ABO is adjust as needed, and CBO is change sucks. Is that a pretty fair read? I really like that a lot.
Yeah, that's funny. Thank you for sharing that. That's hilarious. Okay, cool. Next up is Zach. We've been refining our avatar and we're going to make new versions of them for the current situation. However, I was hoping to get feedback on the current base of this. I'm wondering if we need to prune it down or if you think it's focused enough to be a good creative guide for us. Okay. Isabel is interested in keto. All right. She's savvy at home and ready to lose weight. Not a demographical avatar, I agree. She's a woman with a motivation. Yeah, she wants to be healthier, I agree. Because I'm working in this same market, as you know. She has heard of keto, believes it will help her reach her goals. Totally. Yep, this is very, very nice, Zach. It's important to keep the characters as possible interested in keto. Totally. I would even say, just to go a little bit broader, like she's interested in any new habits or information that would help her lose weight and feel healthier. And if you think about it in that way, it allows you to broaden your targeting out a little bit, like you saw in the keto examples that I showed you guys. Yeah, self-esteem. Totally. I want to be healthy. Absolutely. Not a crash diet. Could this be different? Yeah, you've totally nailed this. Yeah, after state. Love it. This is really, really nice. You did such a good job. Okay, looks like we've got values, brands. Not sure exactly about those. I think,
That is very interesting.
okay,
Um,
she likes to check her horoscope. So, yeah, I think this is good stuff to know. I don't know if I would target any of these from a targeting standpoint, but this is definitely good to know. Fashion brands, beauty brands, home brands. Um, yeah, I don't know. These definitely aren't what I would target, but again, it's good to know when you're writing copy and imagining this person in front of you. From a Facebook targeting perspective, just go back to that module that I did about targeting and just use all of the targeting that I showed you and find others that I haven't found. But in terms of like understanding your avatar, maybe not necessarily from a targeting perspective, this doc is badass, and way to go, Zach. Like, I think you definitely did the work to get to know the avatar. So way to go there. That's exciting. All right, so let's look at these docs from, I think this is from Charlotte. So this is for skincare. All right, Avatar 1, no boyfriend, single, used to have acne, low self-esteem, anxious, wears too much makeup. I'm not someone that likes to wear that much makeup, but I feel like I have to wear it. I want to make my skin better, but I'm too embarrassed to leave the house without covering it up. I think that's really strong. I think Facebook might accept it because it's in testimonial form. We just want to be careful with policy there, but I like that you went deeper than just the skincare. I've had bad breakouts and acne a lot and scarring, and it's why I cover it up. Worst part, my skin feels itchy when I talk to people. I always think they're looking at my skin. So you definitely know your avatar. This is all, I would remove this drunk at a party part. I don't know if they would accept it. And I feel like you have a lot of hooks in there and here. I don't know if you need for the what you're doing here with this feeling hook. I don't know if you need this long of ad copy to just keep digging at it. I don't think Facebook might love that either. So, I would stick with actually a bit of shorter ad copy for this one because just your particular situation, and just pick like one or maybe even a few of these paragraphs that you feel are very reflective, but really, really good marketing. Logic, and it's real. You can tell that you've had this problem, or you know someone that's had this problem, like you're really helping people. Ever felt skin itch from makeup? I wouldn't ask this in a question form, because Facebook policy-wise might not like that. So just quick makeup tip, I would just turn this more into a statement. If you cake on makeup, it clogs pores. Yeah, I really like this, very similar to Boom. I think that will work. People have commented on how lucky I am not to need makeup, not realizing that I have a full facial foundation. Other people have asked what makeup I use. Status, yeah, these are awesome. I can't really wear foundations since all of them clog my pores and irritate my skin. Put names for people after this, but yeah, you've definitely nailed it. Yeah, totally. I think these are really, really good. I'm excited for you to test these. Let me look at the mom with a teenage daughter, high school senior. Okay, so I think this one, I don't know if this one will be as strong as the other one, just because this person is so specific in terms of trying to find them on Facebook, like to find a mom with specifically a teenager. I think going after moms in general might be a little bit easier, and you can use a lot of the targeting that I showed for moms too, to get in front of them. So I think that level of specificity might actually hurt you here, but I like that you're speaking to moms. So as a mom, it hurts you when other kids hurl names like Crater Face at class. Oh, I see why you're doing this. Okay, it's been like this since she was 14. At school, she wears makeup. It's almost a mask. Wow, this is deep. I mean, honestly, I think that you will get a lot of response to this. Yeah, by the time my beautiful daughter was 15, she was a permanent zit zone. I don't think Facebook, like, we need to be careful with like how deep we're going with this, just because you might be on a sensitive line here that especially Facebook's not going to like, because remember, they don't want consumers to feel broken, or they don't want consumers to feel like they're, through their advertising, wanting, making you feel broken. That's not in Facebook's value set. So I would just maybe like lighten these up a little bit. But yeah, logic, mild acne sucks. Does your daughter use way too much makeup? So instead of a question, I would just phrase this as a statement, and I would actually open up with a statement about this, not mild acne sucks, because this is actually what you're speaking to. You're going to catch more people. Cool, it makes me happy to see her smile again. Yeah, that's a huge hook here. So Charlotte, you've done a really, really good job. Let's just like lighten them up a little bit, maybe even shorten them a little bit. But really, really fantastic work. Way to make your product so relevant into someone's life and go deep into the actual reasons that they're going to take that action. Really, really good job there. Thank you for submitting those. All righty, so what do we have next? All right, Vishal, I think I'm saying that correctly. Hey buddy, he said, thanks for your feedback on the last Q&A. We took your word to heart and created a new pre-sell on the immunity, the topic of immune system. Here's the new version. Okay, awesome. Okay, so something that I would recommend is checking out, I don't know if I told you this last time, but go to Travani and also check out their ads in the Facebook ad library. You could get a lot of good ideas for hooks and languages to use around this topic. There's someone doing a good job with that. So 6 amazingly easy ways to strengthen your immune system. So I like that. That's a lot stronger than what you had before. Soak up the sun, be careful with excessive physical exertion. So I don't think all of these need exclamation points. They feel like you're yelling, but I like this. Short, I would like this button to be a benefit for them, not around your product. Because if I am a skimmer, and especially if I don't read this last one, I have no idea what Q10 is and how it relates to me. So change the language there. Okay, it looks like we have a little bit of science, smart, some logic. That's really good. Some of this would make really good ad copy. Then we've got the guy with the proof. Yeah, this is looking really good. I think this is totally ready to test. Like, huge improvement, really good job. Excited to see how that looks. Just make those few updates that I told you about. Maybe change this image to a person. Like, I relate with these people. I relate with this guy. I don't so relate with this. So try to use some imagery just like Boom did here. The people respond to humans. So, you know, I would show more imagery around that. But yeah, great improvements. Really, really good job. I'm excited to see how that does. Okay, John, is there anything else that's coming in? That was, those were
Fast
all
and
awesome.
furious.
Yeah, that was
Um,
fun. And if anything else comes in, happy to address it.
yeah, so Ricardo was wondering, when can he add new ads to an existing campaign? So maybe the question should be, which kind of campaigns, ABO and or CBO, can you add new ads to? And at what point do you know it's time to put new ads in it?
Yeah, so with budget at the ad set level, I never add new ads because it really, most of the time, tends to screw with the optimization. So most of the new ads that I'm introducing to overcome fatigue are introduced in brand new ad sets altogether or new campaigns altogether. It's a bit different for CBO because of the optimization has obviously changed. In those scenarios, I find that adding 1 to 2 or maybe 3 new ads to each ad set once a week or so, depending on the volume of traffic that you're running, can be very beneficial to overcome fatigue and just keep things fresh to an extent. So we'll go a lot deeper into that in the next few weeks, but yeah, that's the baseline answer and strategy around that.
Awesome. And then Jason said, if you have proven converting ads, do you combine them with new test ads?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong, especially in a CBO campaign, to have an ad set that has, you know, maybe 3 ads that are existing post IDs, proven ads, and 1 to 3 brand new ads. You know, that's something we just did with Boom a few days ago, actually. So yeah, definitely you're on the right track there, buddy.
And then I did not see the name of the button, but Vishal's wondering if you had a suggestion for an alternative for the button. So do you want to scroll down to where that was on the page?
Well, since they're buying into strengthening their immune system, I would make this around that specific end benefit. So, you know, it would take me a second to come up with exactly what that is, but I wouldn't have it because a lot of people aren't even going to know what Q10 is. So it's like,
Hmm.
you know, even something like discover, more ways to boost your immune system, anything, that's a call to action that is benefit driven and not just your product name is basically what I'm saying. So.
Perfect. And then I just dropped in that Slack channel one at the bottom, someone looking for feedback on revised copy.
Okay, so Diana, um, yeah, John, this is one, if you don't mind, let's add this to the overflow so that I can really read this. This is a pretty long one.
Okay, yeah, no worries. I can definitely do that. And then someone asked about the keeping the post ID, and I know we have a video training on that that I can get
Yeah,
added to the members area. I
yep,
thought I had already put it in the Train My Traffic Person Facebook group, but I'm not finding it. So let's see who asked
cool.
for that. Deanna, I will find that video Molly made, and I will get that added to. Does it make sense for it to go in module 6 or 7, Molly?
7, and I can
Okay.
send you the Dropbox link if you need it too.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah, so I will give that to you right now.
Cool. Okay.
And we can get that in the members area.
Awesome. And then
I just put that there, John. So feel free to put that in chat too if people need that right now.
yeah, so I'm just going to drop for now. It'll be post ID. And then Josh said that he updated his webinar copy if you want to take a look at that really quick. And then we can call that our last one, wrap it
Cool.
up. And
Where is, okay, so Josh on, is it
I'll find
in,
it for you. It's one of the ones we looked at a minute ago.
oh, okay, so it was on a post that was already made.
Or Josh, well, Joshua, yeah. Josh, why don't you post a link for me to where you updated that, and I'll give it to Molly. Oh, new post. Okay, cool. All right. Here we go. All right, dropping that in the Slack channel. There you go.
Okay. And I just saw this one pop up too, but I'm happy to answer. Okay. All right. So I posted last week about the dog training webinar we were hosting. I ran 200 over 5 SJs to receive 252 leads at 80 cents. Awesome. 60 showed up. That's a great show up rate nowadays, leading to 3 sales. A good start with admittedly really crappy copy. Awesome. We're holding another one tonight, and I've duplicated the previous campaign, expanded our reach a little more, and running $50 a day with the same copy, different creative. I've since tried sprucing up our copy to hit based on suggestions. So yeah, I mean, definitely take anything from those examples I showed you. That guy has been running ads for years. Ready to get the dog you've always wanted to live with. So I don't know if I love that because it kind of puts the dog down. So I mean, yeah, I would go with more of an emotional hook or something a bit different. For our 5-week online at-home manners class, so I like that, everything you need to know. So instead of like, I would list out some things, like you see him hit on all those topics. So really hit on that early in your ad copy. Like if your dog's barking, if they're not listening to you, if they're food obsessed, if they're not walking on the leash, like, you know, these are the solutions to those, but we need to speak to those a little bit more on the page. So I think that's really important. Got some testimonials. So yeah, that's the biggest way I can think to really strengthen that. And congratulations on these results. Definitely watch if you haven't. I think it's in module 2, the training where Russ Henneberry and I go through how we launched his business, Modern Publisher, through webinar ads. And if you just follow that, I think you can do even a lot more with this. But just speaking, like the reason the dog training secrets ads that I showed you work so well is because he's speaking to all of the pain points, or as many as possible. And people really feel that, right? So cool, thank you for that. And then I just wanted to acknowledge Teresa posted this video from Ryan Dice from Digital Marketer about the virus. And she said, for this, should I use reach or traffic? So you've got a blog post. So definitely do traffic and then landing page views. And this is definitely a good video to, you know, in relation to the times that we're all going through. All right, y'all. Well, that was fun. John, anything else?
No, I think we are all good on all that. So
Cool.
ready to
Well,
wrap it up.
everybody get some rest. Take care of yourself. let us know how we can help in the Facebook group. We will get back together at this same time next Tuesday. Remember that this Thursday we have a break, and next week we are moving on to the next topic and the rest of the class. So thank you guys for being here. So grateful to spend this time with you. And yeah, just thanks for showing up and thanks for being awesome, and let us know how we can best serve you guys. So thank you, John. Thanks, guys.
Of course.
And
Thank y'all.
talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.